What is going on, guys? It's a windy day here in Las Vegas. I'm changing out my wheels, which is a pretty quick process, but also a boring process. So, to pass the time, I'll be answering your guys' questions from Instagram. Let's get started. First question from Toms. Have you ever thought going back fixing slot machines after the whole adpocalypse and demonetization shit? I have thought about it, but the way my job was before, it was so cush. I only had 5 coworkers. Well, I only had 4 coworkers. It was a 5-man team, and a bigger slot route bought out our slot route. So if I went back to a job like that, it would be a lot harder work. That's part of why I really liked that job, is I could go, I could get my work done, and as long as I did my work well, then nothing would break, right? I'm a good slot tech if I fix the machines to the point where they stop breaking. And if I go and get a job like that now, I'd be working for a huge company, and I'm not intimidated by hard work, but I feel like I'm qualified for a cooler job than that, right? That's just work, you know what I mean? No one has a passion for repairing slot machines, so it'd be nice to one day find something that maybe I have a passion about. To answer your question about if I'm preparing for if YouTube goes to shit, it's always in the back of my mind. We've already seen a lot of big channels sort of get fucked with no... See, that's my thing. YouTube doesn't offer an answer for everyone whose channel gets demonetized, or even sometimes the channels get deleted, and YouTube is never really held accountable for like answering the question, why? Why do these channels get demonetized? YouTube just kind of says, well, I don't see you, I don't hear you, I don't know. And that's the scary part, because I feel like if something happened to my channel, I could explain it. As far as work goes, I have some options. I know a lot of people here in Las Vegas. It's not going to be hard for me to find a job. I'm just concerned about finding a job that I don't absolutely hate, because that's something I have had to deal with in the past, working a job that I'm just miserable at every single day, and I'd like to avoid that. I didn't mind it when I was a little bit younger. Like, okay, I'm 18. I'm going to work a shitty job. Big fucking deal. But now, I'm not 18, and I don't want to work a shitty job. I'd like to work a job where I can kind of see a future, and that's how I used to feel about YouTube. But now it's like, rather than seeing a future, I just see negativity. You know, so many people have been fucked with on YouTube that now it's like, it's not a matter of if, it's almost becoming a matter of when. Like, when is YouTube going to decide that angry scooter riders are allowed to decide the fate of my channel? It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. By the way, guys, I get a lot of questions about what wheels I'm skating, and I always just say eBay, which is super vague, because I go on eBay and I type in green 54 wheel, and then I just pick whatever pops up. But I found out that I'm skating green mini logo. I've heard a lot of negative things, but for me, when it comes to skate products, they don't have to be great, they don't have to be amazing. All they have to be is not shitty, and I think these wheels are easily not shitty. I've been skating them for a long time. Not just these wheels specifically, but this brand of wheels I've been skating forever, and I've never had any big problems with it. I feel like I was never that kind of guy who was like, hold on, dude, I only skate the best bearings, I only skate the good trucks. I've always just kind of been like, hey, what can I get for half price, dude? Or what's on clearance, man? I'll skate that. I've had so many friends over the years. Justin Fig, for example, he would show up to the park with no skateboard and horrible shoes and just get on anyone's skateboard and immediately be great. And for me, that motivated me to not care so much about the quality of what's under my feet. I should care more about the skill, because everyone who complains... I used to do this a lot. Whenever I saw somebody complain about trying to land a trick, I would... well, specifically, they would say, oh, I can't land this trick because my skateboard's it's crooked or something. I would go, let me try it, and then I could land it perfectly, and I would say, oh, skateboard seems fine. And a lot of people don't realize that it's not the skateboard's fault. A a lot of the time it's the user's fault. Then again, I'm also the first person to blame my skateboard when things go wrong, so I'm a little bit of a hypocrite in that aspect, but I do try to keep in mind that as long as the product is okay, then it's going to be fine for me. You got to think about it. There's people who have done crazy handrail tricks on a skateboard with a broken nose. So if you have a little bit of a chip, you're kind of being a pussy if you're going to complain about, I don't know, something like that. Next question from AWGE. Thoughts on all these YouTubers currently wanting to box, and would you join in on the trend? I haven't heard anything about that. I imagine you mean like boxing, and I think that would be a really cool way to cross-promote. Remember, I'm the guy that challenged the scooter rider. Actually, don't misquote me. The scooter rider challenged me to a fight last year, and I set it up. I got a gym ready. I had licensed like refs, and like I had a little corner ready for him. We were gonna do it in a cage, and then he bitched out. So I'd be totally down, especially when it comes to boxing. You know, if you lose, it's not like you lost a street fight. It's kind of like, oh, I just lost a boxing match. So it would be like less embarrassing. I think it would also be just fun to do. Usually when you're boxing, there's not so much like, fuck you. It's not really like an animosity thing. It's more like a sporting thing, you know? For me, losing a boxing match would be no different than losing a game of skate or a game of horse or a game of volleyball or something like that. I don't think it would be so much like, oh, I'm so disappointed in myself. All of YouTube thinks I'm a bitch now. Because all of YouTube's, at this point, borderline retarded, so I wouldn't care about that. I don't think my YouTube channel is big enough for people to really care, but if you guys have any info on that, if that's a real thing, I'd love to hear more, either in the comments or on Instagram or whatever, because I have not heard anything about that, and I think it'd be super fun. That being said, I'm not a great boxer. All of my fight training was mainly wrestling and ground fighting and stuff like that, so I'd probably suck, but then again, I have been in a lot of drunken bar fights, so I do have that drunken monkey style that they have in the Asian movies, just pretty much done putting the wheels on the skateboard. I thought I would have to change more bearings, so I brought some extra bearings out just in case, but it turns out all those bearings are fine, and I really like how bright these wheels are. It looks like they could glow in the dark, especially compared to my scratched up crappy skateboard. I will answer one last question. Justin Kopp says, when you crack a board, do you stomp it or keep skating it till it completely breaks? And do you save decks? Question mark. I'll start off saying, do I save decks? I used to save decks up until about 3 years into skating. I had a trash can just like this. It might have been this trash can filled with cracked and broken decks and old decks, and I liked to look back at those decks, and for each skateboard I would have a memory of either an experience or a trick I landed, and then one day I'm pretty sure these two kids stole every single broken skateboard I had, which made me so fucking furious. I'm not mad about it anymore, but I was so furious because these broken skateboards have no value to anyone except me, because it's all memories. They're all broken. These kids probably got all these skateboards, dragged them to their house, looked in the trash can, and they were like, oh wow, we just stole 50 pounds worth of broken skateboards. Way to go us. I don't know who the kids were, but I have this memory of driving away from my house, and I remember seeing kids that looked like they were about to jump over my wall. If you guys saw the shape of my house, you could see like part of my side wall is exposed, and these kids sort of went this way and ducked into the neighbor's yard, and I had this feeling, this weird gut feeling. I was like, those two kids are up to no good, and I didn't notice that the skateboards were gone for like 5 or 6 days, and we had no idea where they went, and my immediate thought was, it was those two fucking kids. And that's not guaranteed, you know, I don't know for sure. I don't have a security camera on that side of the house, but what a shitty experience. Then again, it also taught me that, hey, everything in life is temporary. You can't get too attached to something, especially if it's already broken and worthless, and I feel like that advice has held true later in life, because I've lost a lot of things, either stolen or broken or whatever, and when you get too attached to these random items, then it's almost like it makes you weaker, right? If you can't afford to lose shit, then did you ever really have it in the first place? I don't know. Life advice with Uncle Ninja. Deciding if I'm going to break a board or continue skating it usually depends on my mindset. Sometimes I lose control and break the board no matter what. But if the board is just a little bit cracked, especially if it's cracked on the tail, usually I'll either skate it backwards or I'll dedicate the next few days to skating only nollie. If it's cracked in the middle, usually that's like a deal breaker, and I'll either give it away to somebody who's down to skate a cracked deck, like Richie. He'll skate a cracked deck for 3 months without ever making it any worse. In fact, I'm going to give Richie this deck as soon as I do the next setup video, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it at all. And I could have easily just gotten mad and smashed it, but I chose not to because that's wasteful. And sometimes I feel like being wasteful, but right now I don't feel like it. So fuck you if you're about to say, somebody could have used that skateboard. He broke a perfectly good skateboard at the skate park and somebody could have used it. What a fucking asshole. My property, my rules. Not only did I buy this skateboard, but I bought hundreds of them and spent thousands of dollars, so I can do whatever the fuck I want with my own property. And if you want to buy one, check out cakemuscle.com. When it gets delivered to your house, you can do whatever you want to the skateboard. That's it for today. I'm filming this video on March 1st, so you're not going to see this for a long time. By the time you see this, I will have already competed on American Ninja Warrior, so I'm giving my future self good luck. Hopefully I do well, I don't fall in the water, I don't make myself look stupid. I'm trying to represent you guys because not all skateboarders are pussies. Some of us really can achieve something, and I don't know why I just said that, because if I fuck up really bad, now I look even stupider. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. There will be another setup video this week, so tune in and watch it. Just in case your Instagram question didn't get answered today, it might get answered in that setup video. I will see you guys tomorrow. Kuna Matata, bitches.